Little fill-in-the-blank time now, Chris Simms, on this Monday edition of PFT Live. The Broncos and the Rams are sending a smaller group of people this year to the Scouting Combine, according to ESPN. If you gave teams truth serum, they would say the Combine is blank.
Spring break for NFL coaches. That's what they would tell you. That's what it is. I mean, hey, the guy who's in row 95 who spent the night drinking with other coaching buddies is not doing anything worth a damn evaluating players who are, 150 yards away, right? I mean, I understand. Then we're asking this question in in lieu of the Broncos and Rams and the fact that they're, not sending a whole lot of people from their staffs. I get it. I think that's what I would do. That's how rumors get started. It's how relationships, back channels, things like that. It's too much free time and conversation. If I was a head coach of a team, I'm not so sure I'd be very happy about, my coaches just being off, talking to other coaches and doing all that, working out some relationships or maybe their future to where they may go. Really, the only guy, Mike, this too, the only guys that need to be there is the head coach, the GM, maybe an assistant here and there to see certain positions, and that's it. The fact of bringing, I think, the whole organization, I think those days are numbered.
Yeah, I agree with you. And because they're moving the workouts to prime time, some of the prime drinking hours are going to be wiped out Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. They're going to have to start later than usual. The restaurants, I had somebody tell me over the weekend, the people that run the restaurants are not going to be happy about this at all. Three of their biggest nights of the week are going to be wiped out, or at least they're going to have to shift their hours from 5 to midnight to like 11 to 5 a.m., because everybody's going to be tied up at Lucas Oil Stadium for the workouts.
I want to see this become a spectacle. I mean, let's do it. Like, make the coach, the GM, and the owner all sit there in the first three rows. You have them there, fill out the rest of the stadium with fans or whatever else, but make it look good for TV, and let's continue to go this route instead of a scattered stadium of there's Johnny assistant, there's Johnny assistant, there's that head coach.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's where it's heading. And Indianapolis, your days are numbered hosting the Scouting Combine. It's going to be in L.A. No matter how inconvenient it is for everyone in L.A., and at some point the stadium's going to be full. And let me tell you what, too, and look, this is a drum I've been banging for several years now. At some point, the players need to say, I'm not coming to that thing unless you pay me.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm not going to be a free participant in this reality show that you guys are making more millions off of. You want me to show up. You want me to work out. You pay me, especially the guys with the biggest names, the guys whose draft position is already set.
Joe Burrow is nothing. The Combine's doing nothing for Joe Burrow. Nothing. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, he's going in the top 5. If he doesn't do one workout, he's going to go in the top 5.
Here's what I am waiting for a player to say. When their season ends and they enter the draft, everything you need to know about me is on my game film from college. Anything more you want from me? No, I'm not. This isn't a job interview. If you want me, draft me. If you don't, one of your competitors will. I'm not doing anything, and I'm not showing up for anything unless you pay me, because you're making money off of it, and I'm done doing stuff for free. I want to be paid for the Scouting Combine. I'm not doing a pro day workout unless somebody wants to compensate me for it. And I'm not showing up at the draft. I'm not going to ride on a boat in the fountain of the Bellagio and be a prop in your reality show if you're not paying me. And it's not enough to bring me and my mom and my dad and my brother and my sister and stay in a hotel. Who cares? You're getting paid, you're making money, I'm getting paid, or I'm not showing up. And I can't wait for somebody to say that and basically say, hey, I'll see you at the draft if you pay me. Otherwise, draft me or don't. But I'll show up for the next thing when I get paid for the first thing that I've ever gotten paid for playing football.
Well, I mean, I hear you. It's a tough thing to do for a young kid who is about to reach his dream, and you're just not thinking that way either. And also, you're thinking about trying
That's because they're all brainwashed to think it's a dream.
Well, you're trying to sell yourself, too, to position yourself to become a higher draft pick to make more money, too, though. So, there's a little bit of that balance as well. But I hear you. Your point's real, man. I mean, I'm with you. Like, Joe Burrow, Chase Young, They could probably pull that off this year, and no, you're not going to stop them. They're going in the top 5 as long as they haven't murdered somebody and aren't carrying around a Glock on a daily basis, a gun or something like that. Then they're going in the top 5. You like that?
That took a very dark turn.
I know.
Here's the thing. They manipulate these guys based upon their youth, ego, testosterone, right? It's very easy to press the buttons of these guys in their early 20s to get them to do whatever you want.
Right.
And it's easier the older you get to look at and say these guys are getting screwed. But hey, you know what? Joe Burrow, Chase Young, all you guys at the top, you're getting screwed. You're getting screwed.
Yeah.
All right, this is fill in the blank. We need to move on to the next one.
You didn't even fill in that blank. Only I did.
Yeah, and there's a lot I can say about it, but I think I've said enough.
Okay, fine.
And ultimately, it is a reality show about nothing.
Yes,
the workouts are
enough.
meaningless.
Move on. Let's go.
This is about the medical. That's all the combine is about. It's the medical. Everything else is just fluff. All right, Washington cut Josh Norman on Friday. They still have to decide whether to pick up the option on Adrian Peterson's contract. Washington should blank the 34-year-old running back.
I say pick up the option. First off, this is not a running back group that's going to make you feel warm and cozy if you're a Washington fan. I mean, what is there to really look at and be dependable? Yeah, Darius Geis is talented, but injury prone, as we've seen through 2 years. Chris Thompson on the roster, a lot of talent, but has injury issues as well. There's nobody really there to trust. As far as a guy that you want to give the ball to in big moments or protect the ball running out the clock, and he still's got some tread on those tires. So I would re-sign Adrian Peterson.
I would pick up the option, and I would definitely keep him. He is a great leader. He's a great presence in the locker room. He's a competitor, and he's a draw. How many guys on that roster do you look at and say, wow,
true.
There's a draw?
Right.
He's one of the few that you look at and say, hey, that's a guy that people show up to see.
Yeah, you're right. There's no doubt about it. He's a legend. I mean, for me, Adrian Peterson's one of the 3 greatest running backs of all time. And what he's doing at this age and the way he's moving is very special.
Who are the other 2?
I would go Jim Brown and Barry Sanders, and then Adrian Peterson. I think those would be my top 3 all time. Certainly in my lifetime, I think Barry Sanders 1, Adrian Peterson 2 would be the top 2 running backs I've ever seen in person, like at a game or just watching on TV and having knowledge of what's going on in football. Those 2 are the 2 that jump out to me in their prime.
Just added to the guest list for Indianapolis next week, running back Frank Gore will be on set again.
I love you, Frank.
With another
You're
bone to pick with Chris Simms. All right, speaking of Washington, Greg Olsen is negotiating with them, along with the Seahawks and the Bills. All things considered, blank would be the best of those options for Greg Olsen.
Well, I know Ron Rivera's in Washington, but if I'm Greg Olsen, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go with a young quarterback and deal with that. So to me, it's between the Seahawks and the Bills, one of those 2 teams. Man, it's really tough right there. But I'd probably go the Seahawks. The Bills have a young, talented tight end, and that Duke Dawson kid, or Dawson Knox, who they drafted out of Ole Miss last year, who's a damn good player. I think he's got superstar potential. You go to Seattle, they have a need at that position, and they will continue to use and feature the tight end position. And Russell Wilson, he knows how to hit that type of guy. So I guess if I had to choose there between the Bills and the Seahawks, I go Seahawks.
Well, and for me, best of the options is none of the above. I say walk through the door at Fox and take that seat in the broadcast booth, get off the football field, get yourself away from future injury. He's 35 years old, and he's doing the XFL games now for Fox. I don't think they leave that door open permanently for him, although they seem to be willing to delay this transition 1 year at a time, But I think that it may be, and he'll know when the best offers are put on the table by the 3 teams, and then Fox has their offer, and, there may be a little leverage play going on here. Hey, Fox, are you going to sweeten it a little bit? Maybe I won't play football if you offer me an extra, X dollars on top of what you're currently offering, or if you give me this term or that term. But there's going to be a gap. Obviously, it's going to pay more to play football than it will to work for Fox. But if he can squeeze a better deal out of Fox, then so be it. Maybe that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, it could be. It really could. I mean, I think he's got a future in broadcasting no matter what. And if you just feel like you got that itch to play, you just got to play it out. Because you'll be frustrated if you go down Jason Wittenville and you're announcing games, and then you get towards the end of that season and go, damn, I should have kept playing. Maybe what do I do there? So make sure it's all out. Make sure it's all out. Your love of the game, everything is there. And I would tell Greg, go play. It's all right. That Fox job will be there. He's handsome. He's well-spoken. He understands the game. They'll give him a job when that time comes.
All right, 49ers fullback Kyle Juszczyk defended teammate Jimmy Garoppolo during a recent appearance on NFL Network. The fact that multiple 49ers have defended Garoppolo since the Super Bowl makes you feel blank about the San Francisco quarterback, Chris.
More confident about the San Francisco quarterback. I think that the defense, the staunch defense of the 49ers players, I think there's some merit here to what they're doing. I think if Jimmy Garoppolo was really not a good player and a guy that the team didn't see a lot of talent with, a future with, I don't think you would get the defense that he's been getting the last few weeks here if that was the case. I think the team goes, hey, we like the guy. They like the leader. I think they like the player and the talent they see. And I think they think this is unjust. And I think that's something to be said, because I think if the players really thought he was crappy and not the guy, you wouldn't get this kind of defense of him.
I think it makes me feel no differently about the San Francisco quarterback. They're doing what they have to do. It's what Peter King said Super Bowl week, or I think it was Super Bowl week. The idea that anytime there are external voices that are picking on a player on a team, whatever sport it may be, the team's going to rally around the guy, unless he's just a complete jerk. They're going to rally around him, and they'll deal with their concerns privately, but if you criticize our quarterback, you're criticizing all of us, and they know it's not in their best interest to stay silent in the face of that. And Juszczyk's remarks ultimately underscore the main concern here. Jimmy Garoppolo had a chance to win a Super Bowl with a throw to an open Emmanuel Sanders, and he failed to make it.
Right.
That's the criticism. When the season's riding on it, and, Mike Reese of ESPN.com had a great quote from Tom Brady about Jimmy Garoppolo, and basically saying, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing him play in the Super Bowl. That's when you find out what you're made of. Well, we found out what Jimmy Garoppolo's made of. He didn't make the throw that Tom Brady would have made, that other quarterbacks have made. That's the gist of the criticism at this point. He had a chance to win a Super Bowl and didn't. That's it.
I get
and it's not inaccurate.
No, you're right. I understand that. But I do think there is something there to be like. To me, the defense of the 49ers has been much more aggressive from the player standpoint than it was even for, let's just say, Kirk Cousins until the very end of this season, right? To me, I feel like, it just shows something that he's really well liked within the locker room. That's, I guess, what I'm saying more than anything. That they have confidence in him, that he's well liked. But you're right, the thoughts on the field, those questions are real, and your questions are real too. I'm going to be one that's going to sit here and go, hey, listen, I knew he wasn't Patrick Mahomes, and that game was there to be had by that defense. That defense should have won. That's the way the team was built, and they were up 20-10, and it was 3rd and 15, and they got Mahomes. That might have to become a phrase. It really might. I watched that damn thing, Mike, the NFL mic'd up like 40-minute show with my little boy of the Super Bowl again. It's just amazing, that game. It's worth the watch too, Mike. But it just, again, I just walked away just going, that's unbelievable. Damnedest thing I ever saw. Team was going to lose, and then 15 just caught fire, and they scored 21 points in 6 minutes against the best pass defense we've seen in football in the last 12 years. It just, to me, is still insane, and I just err on that greatness more than blaming Jimmy Garoppolo so much, I guess is where I come from.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.